Welcome back, dear viewers. You're still watching Nile Cruise and Nile TV, and from a wonderful place here in Egypt, from the Scouts Club on the Nile banks. We have a very special guest with us today, dear viewers. At the beginning, Minister of Culture Ines Abdel said that Egypt has been chosen as the capital of the Islamic culture for 2020, and of course to Egypt's outstanding culture role all over the world. The Dame said Cairo is a city of diversity and culture, richness, reflecting many silent features of human civilizations in general, the Islamic civilization, and especially as it has always been a meeting point of civilizations, old and modern, and a unique center of art, intellectual, and creativity. And in this context, dear viewers, we have our regular, wonderful, cute guest, which is of course an Egyptologist, and she is Rana Ihab, and we always have the pleasure to have her with us in our program. Rana, it's an amazing, of course, it's amazing to have you with us in today's episode of Nile Cruise, and I'm of course very happy. I'm always happy to have you with you. I love your smile. I love your attendance. I love your everything about you. Honestly.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Rana, of course, why, from your point of view, is Egypt chosen as the capital of the Islamic culture for our 2020?
As you mentioned, we have a lot of culture only in Cairo. So choosing Cairo, this is something normal, and to know this is not the first time for us to being in this position, because we did the previous years actually, and Alexandria will be also the Islamic culture for this organization in one time. So Cairo, if we are talking about Cairo, why Cairo taking this position? Why, when we want to talk about the culture in all the world, we put a spotlight on Cairo? So if we thinking about our starting from the early beginning, from the beginning of the history, we will find we have here ancient Egyptian site, we have here Greco-Roman site, we have here a Christian and also Islamic sites. So all of these places, when you are arrive to Cairo, or you want to see all the world in one city, you come to Cairo and you will see how it's amazing. The walls always speaking about its culture and its heritage.
Okay, Rana, what from your own perspective, of course, are Egypt's chances to occupy a leading position among religious tourism?
So from this point, we want to see what is the things done by the efforts of Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities, what we do in this place to make Egypt and the trend of the religious cultural map in all the world. So now we have in Cairo, Cairo is known as the city of 1,000 minarets, and also it's known as the place, the Holy Family pass in Cairo to be in the churches and the monasteries. And if we are talking about the Jewish, also we have a lot of synagogues here is talking about this, and it have a specific and different heritage. So for that reason, we put the tourism religious in Egypt on the top. Our efforts now with the UNESCO to put the trail of the Holy Family from their arriving and from Sinai to the end of the journey itself, all of that efforts to show the people how as Egypt is important, not only in the religious side, also it's relating to understanding the meaning of unity in Egypt. If we are unity in Egypt, exactly. If we are talking about the Islamic, if we are talking about the Christianity, if we are talking about the Jewish too, all of these people living in a specific era with each other, with no difference between them.
Okay, how do you assess the state efforts in restoring and renovating the mosque?
So we to make the religious tourism of Egypt on the trend to face all other kinds of tourism, actually we need some renovations and restorations in some places, especially that places touches heart on the people. So, for example, the mausoleums that related to the sense of Islam, the sense and Christianity too, all of these places, when we restored it, we make the people visit these places more. The capacity increased in this place, and actually we need this.
Wonderful. What is the significance and role of the Islamic and Coptic Museum?
Actually, if we are talking about this, we will back to the history. What happened when Islam entered Egypt? Who has helped people, or Amr ibn al-As, to dismiss or to inaugurate the Roman here from Egypt? Actually, the Coptic, the Christian people who was living at this time, who helped the Muslim people to get out the people that we didn't like as an Egyptian at this time. So the relation between the Islamic Museum and the Coptic Museum, it's amazing, because when we enter the Coptic Museum, it's talking about the Christianity in general. We will find some specific items is taken from the Islamic culture. And if we're looking in the Islamic Museum, we will find some pieces which is made by Christian people to serve the Islamic, to serve the mosques, to serve everything related to that. So the both museums is amazing, and actually everything done during this process to involve and to encourage the tourism to those places is actually amazing.
Okay, the technology plays a main role in the multimedia presentation of the museum. Would you shed more light on the role of technology in museums nowadays, and what role can technology play in this sort of museum?
So in this point, we have, as we mentioned, the Islamic Museum and the Coptic Museum too. The Islamic Museum.
Everything.
Yes, exactly. So the Islamic Museum doing a great thing is like the virtual tour. So you can enter on the website of the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities and take a virtual tour in the museum. If you want to see a specific piece or specific item, you go through it and you can see it. You can read more about it. And also the applications, it's you can download. It's amazing too, because when you want to see any specific piece or know more details about it, you can see in the application. So this is amazing. And also on the other side, we have to spotlight, we have a great, amazing technology like what we have in the military museum in the Citadel. And when the people want to take a virtual tour to help also the special needs, you can take the virtual tour inside the museum itself, from the screens, from the cinema, the Culturama, which is actually amazing. We are putting ourselves on the top of the museum technology, not only in Egypt, but also in all the world.
Yes, this brings us to a very important question. Several museums have been inaugurated or developed throughout the past years. Would you shed more light on the developing role of the museum in the society, Rana?
Yes. So to do more efforts in the museum to not only to attract the tourism outside Egypt, we also need to attract the people who is living around this area, the local community itself. So when I give to them a service that can help them to develop or to visit this place, to make a relationship between the place and the people themselves, this is actually something good, and we are trying and giving more developments for especially this point.
Okay, how do we raise the awareness of the significance of these museums?
This has come with from different places, from different ages, from different people, from different minds. How's this going? So to spot the light, not only the Ministry of Antiquities should do this, also the family who is living, the family of the people, the children, the awareness from the family, the awareness from the school, the awareness from the Ministry of Antiquities and Tourism. All of this community should be together to create something to increase the awareness for the people. Doing, for example, doing the education departments in the museums. So when the children come to visit this museum, they not only visit to see something pouring and talking about something pouring that's maybe not like what they're thinking or not like their minds. So when I'm talking about, no, we have specific events, we have a specific method of education. This is could help the people to come, and in this point I talk about the increasing awareness. And also we have a very, very important point nowadays. It's about related to the social media in general. So the social media, the influencers, they should to talk about how important of this place, how we can keep this place for not now but for only the next generation after thousands of years.
Rana, I have a problem with influencers in Egypt. My point of view and my perspective about influencers, they pay effort in doing things that are not of importance to our country as much as they do things that are important to our country. How do you read this?
Actually, this is a kind of important. Maybe we said this point, make people, I want the things that give me money. So this is actually not good, because
this is not patriotism.
Because
this
actually,
is not patriotism.
Exactly. When I'm talking about influencer, you have to not everything you do you need to money for it.
Exactly.
So you have to encourage your country. Look at the other influencers when they are talking about their country and how it's amazing. The Egyptian influencers in this time should play a very important role. And sometimes we have a negative and a positive side. For sure, this is in all the world. But when we are focusing on the positive things that give indication to the people that we have a lot of amazing sites, a lot of amazing places. Not only I'm visiting a place to show how amazing is the hotel, I'm showing how amazing the place, the hotel in it. So this is the concept should be increase actually for all the people, for all the influencers, for all the people who they looking for the people attraction.
Do you believe that holding cultural and entertainment events in the museums would encourage youth to know more about their heritage?
Yes, and I remember during the civilization museum and the mummies when they are being at this big festival, I saw the people in the streets, they singing the words and everything related to the heritage. They want to visit the museum to see the mummies. They want to visit the place they are talking about, or we see an advertisement, or we are talking about in the social media. So for sure this is a very, very important thing. If I'm not doing event, no one will know there is important place in this point. And here is back to the rule of the community should be together to create and to increase the awareness, to know how important is this place, not only for me as a person, but also about the heritage. It's also about my nationality related. When I travel outside, the first thing they ask it, do you where are you from? And when I'm Egyptian, they looking, okay, you are from the land of the ancient Egyptian, you are from the land of the pharaohs. And this to keep this for thousands of years, for the next generation, we need to understand the meaning of heritage. You have to know the place you are living, how it's important.
Okay, Rana, finally, how far would shooting films and series museums promote class culture?
This is very, very important, because when we have a movie or a series as a trend, we are looking for where is this place is taking the shot in. So this is also very, very important, and we trying
like the series that was at the Nile.
Yes, exactly. But we doing our efforts to make the facilities for the people who is taking the shots here in Egypt is easy. No one found any problem on that. But because this is taking a lot of security issues, we have to respect the security issues in this. So
Rana, of course, I wonder, how old are you?
I'm 25.
Okay, you're 25, of course. I swear to mention that you're a wonderful influencer, whether it's a name that I gave you or a name that you already have. You're an Egyptologist that is well educated, that is of all pride at your age to represent our country as Egyptians. It's always a pleasure to have you with us in Nile Cruise in any program, because you're really, as I told you, person that's of addition to any place you're in. Your informative knowledge always adds a lot to us. Thank you very much for joining us in today's episode of Nile Cruise. Rana, of course, an Egyptologist, as I mentioned. Thank you very much for being with us, and it was a pleasure, and hope to see you again, and I'm sure we're going to be seeing you again. Dear viewers, this is all for this edition of Nile Cruise. Stay tuned, we'll be back.